Today on Cooking Raw, we prepare meatloaf with no meat. And we welcome friend of show Dr. Peter Johnson, who will talk about the nutritious importance of eating raw foods. Hello, I am Caroline.
And I'm Shanita.
And welcome to Cooking Raw. Well, you know, today, Shanita, we are going to make a very delicious meatless meatloaf.
Meatless meatloaf? Those two words don't seem to go together. Meat goes in meatloaf, so...
Right, but we're going to do the loaf part.
Okay.
That's going to be absolutely delicious.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
And I know you're sure too, right?
Okay.
Okay, so what's going to go in this meatless meatloaf?
Yes.
We're going to have sun-dried tomato, jalapeno pepper, red pepper, celery, and green peppers, and onions, and garlic powder, and extra virgin olive oil, and sea salt, and apple cider vinegar, carrots, parsley, and mushrooms. These are portobello mushrooms, pumpkin seeds, and walnut.
Did you forget about something?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The special ingredient, the ratatouille. I want to say the ratatouille, but I was told it's ratatouille.
Ratatouille?
Yes.
Okay, so what's ratatouille?
Ratatouille is a special blend of different herbs with
Spices.
Yep, cumin and a lot of good stuff in here that you will love. So let's get started with that.
Okay, so what do we have to do first?
First, what we're going to do, we're going to take that off.
Okay.
Okay, and then I like to add my vegetables in first because they're going to get ready the moisture for the nuts.
Yeah.
So that's about a half of a large red pepper,
Okay.
half of a large green pepper. This is about maybe like, I don't know,
Quarter?
1/4 of an onion. And then we have the celery.
And none of this has been cooked. It's all raw.
Does it look like it's been cooked?
I don't know. I'm just asking to clarify.
Girl, you... She has a PhD, y'all.
Listen.
And looking at this stuff and asking me, has it been cooked?
Just asking to clarify.
Okay.
Carrots?
Carrots, yep. Got some carrots in there. And so we're going to be, I don't know, let's try maybe like about a half a tablespoon of garlic powder. Do it to your taste.
Now, what if we seem to always use food processors when we're making dishes? If a person doesn't have a food processor, I mean, is there another way that they can make these types of recipes?
It really is. You can buy yourself a hand grater that's going to take you
Oh.
even that much longer to do all that. But, you know, invest in a food processor, especially if you're going to be integrating raw foods into your life. This is a great investment.
Okay, it's a staple item.
It is a staple item.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Put that in there. About a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Put that in there. Pinch of sea salt. And then we are going to add, what are we going to add next? I think we're going to go ahead on and add the sun-dried tomatoes.
Now, have these been soaked or something?
No, they weren't. What I did, though, instead of buying the julienne cut
Sun-dried tomatoes?
that cost like about $10 more.
Just because they're julienne?
Just because they're julienne.
Wow.
So I julienne my own with. I bought the fat ones and just put them in in the food processor.
Okay.
That's about a cup of walnuts and a half a cup of pumpkin seeds.
Now, do you have to use this types of nuts, or can you use something else?
You can use something else, but I like to either do pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, but I like pumpkin seeds. You can use,
Cashews. Can you use cashews in it?
if you wanted to, I wouldn't necessarily try cashews, but maybe almonds and Brazil nuts. But if you like cashews, do cashews.
Okay.
This is what I like, and I hope you like it. Okay, so now we just put it on
Okay.
and let it rip. Can you smell it?
I can.
I can too. And I thought I would need some water, but it doesn't look like, because the moisture from the vegetables seems to be enough.
It almost looks like meat too.
It
Like
really
ground beef or
does.
something.
It really does.
Are you going to add the jalapenos and the portobellos to that too?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste it first to see where I am. Okay. That tastes really good. Want to taste?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
That tastes really good.
Okay, and now we're going to now we're
you
going to put
didn't.
a tablespoon of the ratatouille. I really like this. A little, oh yeah, tablespoon. Okay. And I really do think we need a little bit more sea salt, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then the jalapeno peppers.
Oh, thank you. Woo,
Can't forget about those.
that's right. So about, I don't know, that's a half a teaspoon, a little bit more. Okay, that's enough. And let's put this back on.
No
Let's-
mushrooms yet?
No mushrooms yet, because what we're going to do two types of meatloaf. One just like this with all the
Okay.
vegetables, and then somebody may not want the mushrooms,
Oh.
or we're just going to do two versions. Give you an option. Okay, now we're going to do that. So let's take this off. And we're going to stir it one more time.
So what sort of consistency are you looking for with this dish?
This consistency that's sort of thick and has a nice stiffness to it. And see, that's really good. But we want it sort of thick like this.
Okay.
Almost like a meatloaf will look. So, and I don't like my vegetables ground to like a paste. I really like some texture to it. So leave some texture. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this out, right? And now what I'm going to ask you to do
Yes.
is to put the portobello mushrooms in there. So
Okay.
while you're doing that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the loaf patty.
The loaf patty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you put the mushrooms in there. And I'm,
Put them all in here.
yeah, put them on. So I'm going to use my hands. Oh, pass me that cup, because that's why I got that cup. The green cup.
The green
Right there,
cup.
yeah.
Oh.
Let me see this. I like for it to be at least a cup. Go ahead. Oh, I'll just do this. And you're going to pulse that. Okay. So we're going to do this.
It's not
Check.
pulsing.
Do you need any water in that? Yeah, move it around. So I'm going to form my own meatloaf. And I would say do them individually too, because if you try to do a large meatloaf, a large one, and then try to put it in the dehydrator, it will take forever.
All right, so I'm going to pulse again.
Okay. Yeah, just use your spatula. How does that look?
It looks good.
It looks good?
It does. Do I need to pulse this more, or is this a nice
Let's see.
texture?
Let's see. See, first of all, let's taste it. See what it
Okay.
tastes like. It's always a taste. See, I would add some more ratatouille to this. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So just put the whole thing in there.
Yeah, just put that on there. Just put it in there. Okay. Oh, and the jalapeno peppers, because that's sort of mild. Put the rest of the jalapeno peppers in there. I like a little kick. I like to feel my food, feel the heat. Hold. Just let it go like that. Yep. Okay. And let's look at this. Now this looks even more like ground beef. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now I think we can both form a patty, right?
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna take this off and pull that over to the side. And let's do this. I'm gonna give you a cup.
And how long do you leave the patties in the dehydrator?
Well, what you wanna do, you wanna let it dehydrate at about 115 in your dehydrator for like about 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. Then flip it to the other side and then dehydrate some more. Okay.
So how long is that? The total?
I would say maybe like about 6 hours.
Per side?
No, you want to do 2 hours on one side, then you want to do, you're going to do this? 2 hours
Sure.
on, here, and can you form it that way?
Okay.
2 hours on one side, then you want to flip it to the other side and do maybe like about 2 to 3 hours. And what's going to happen is I'm going to make like a little tomato sauce to go on top of this. And then you want to dehydrate that for another 2 to 3 hours. So I'm going to do that. Did you ever make mud pies or anything in the...
Mud pies?
Yeah.
Like real ones?
Yeah.
No.
What about when we used to go to the beach and used to play in the sand?
Oh, you're talking about like real mud. I thought you meant like...
Okay.
I suppose I did.
Okay. So we just pat that. And you see the difference. Look at the color. Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah, this
really...
one is browner.
Right. So, again, you can bring your little ones in. They would love to probably get their hands into something like this.
So maybe like a 1/2 inch thick?
Yeah. So you just do that.
And this could serve like 2, 4, 6 people.
Right. It most definitely can. Ha ha ha. There you go. You can spend more time with that, but you have it. Oh, God. Okay.
Perfect. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's perfect.
Okay, there you have it. Your meatless meatloaf. And now we're going to put it in the dehydrator and let it dehydrate for a few hours. And while that's happening, we're going to make the tomato sauce.
Right.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Earlier this year, we visited with oncologist Dr. Peter Johnson at Outpost Natural Foods in Wauwatosa.
I'm really happy to be here today in that, number one, I'm a customer of Caroline and I'm a customer of Outpost Foods, where we're filming here in Tosa. I think that nutrition plays such an important role in prevention and also in terms of helping people through this journey that they undergo with cancer. One of the reasons raw cooking has come into being so much, that it's gained more popularity, is that there's a thought about the enzymes that aren't broken down with heat here, not breaking down the food in terms of fiber and things. It's sort of a movement just the opposite of the processed. I mean, you consider the ultimate unprocessed is raw or minimally processed food, minimally. What is probably the healthiest for humans is a plant-based whole food diet. So really emphasizing a lot of vegetables, fruits, beans, legumes, these types of things, and minimizing dairy, meat, fish, cheeses, these types of things. Much healthier for one than is the meat-based diet. Superfoods: tomatoes, apples, bananas, certainly ginger, garlic in controlled portions. The raw leafy vegetables, things like kale, spinach, all of these things are amongst the superfoods. Walnuts, almonds, particularly raw almonds, unprocessed.
We're standing in front of some greens now. Caroline loves to use kale, and she loves to use collard greens. Can you talk a little bit about the nutrient qualities of each?
When you look at what the highest source of calcium is of any food product by weight, by far it's the kale. When you look at how much calcium you can get from that as compared to, say, milk, much greater with this. We always think, oh, you have to get dairy products to get your calcium. You do not. The one place where you don't get an essential vitamin through a plant-based diet is vitamin B12. That you need to take a supplement if you're not taking any meat whatsoever, any animal products whatsoever. You do need to take a supplement of it. The other area where we don't get enough, despite trying very hard through any diet, is vitamin D. D has been shown to be very important for health. An area where it may pay to get additional supplementation is omega-3 fatty acids. And that, most people think omega-3 fatty acids, you think fish oils. But a really good source is flaxseed, ground flaxseed. You need to grind it. The other thing that's important with flaxseed is it does need to be kept refrigerated. High fiber, not processed, loaded with vitamins and minerals. A good example of this is the flaxseed cracker that she makes. Unfortunately, I don't have one to show you right now, but the flaxseed cracker, great way to get that flax daily, and you don't have to put it in a juice or something and mix up this almost unpalatable paste, which is another way to get it, or mix it in your orange juice or whatever. It's a very palatable way to get it, and just loaded with fiber, vitamins, particularly the omega-3s in that flaxseed cracker that she makes.
How about protein?
It's remarkable in terms of protein. When we think vegetarian or vegan, oh my God, you're going to have to eat all this tofu, you're going to have to eat this, that. Beans, you can get plenty of protein through the beans. Some of the other plant products have a fair amount of protein in them, so you do not need to eat massive amounts of meat in order to get the necessary protein. In fact, one of the issues that we have is people get way too much protein, and in getting that protein, they get huge amounts of fat with it, particularly with a lot of the animal products that people take.
What's the state of American health when it comes to eating?
It's pretty bad. When you look at the state of American health with respect to eating processed foods, huge amount of processed foods, huge amount of food that has no nutritive value. There's predictions that in the United States, that being of normal body weight within the next 20 years will be the minority. The norm will be either being overweight or morbidly obese, truly obese. What I try to do when I go in a restaurant is look at the menu and figure out what's most healthy here. And if it's not healthy the way it's presented, how can I make it more healthy? For instance, you'll have a portobello sandwich, and you think, whoa, that's really healthy. but they'll have a big slice of mozzarella on it or whatever. Hold the mozzarella. All of a sudden, you've cut the fat content of this considerably. Something like a burger, a black bean burger, and they'll put it between 2 slices of thick white bun. Take that bun away, put lots of veggies around it, have them put veggies. All of a sudden, it's become very healthy. There's a equation people call about the nutritarian value, and that is there's a doctor named Fuhrman, F-U-H-R-M-A-N. He wrote a book called Eat to Live, and in that he talks about the nutritive value. So you look at the number of calories and the nutritive value of that equation. So if you have very low calories and very high nutritive value, so on the top is nutritive value, on the bottom is calories. So if you have something of low calories and high nutritive value, it's very, very good for you. On the other hand, you have something like a piece of cheese where not a lot of nutritive value there and very, very high calories. Now, I'm human like everyone else. I love, love, love really good cheese, so don't get me wrong. I'm not being self-righteous here, I'm being human. And it's all about balance.
Okay, that's right. So here are burgers, our meatless meatloaf.
Right.
This is the one that's all vegetables, and here's the one with the mushrooms.
Well, mushrooms are vegetables too, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
Thank you. It ain't. PhD, y'all, PhD. So what we're going to do now is make the tomato sauce. And we're going to use these sun-dried tomatoes. You remember I was telling you about how I buy these whole instead of julienne cuts? They're a lot less expensive. So put these in here. This is about maybe like a cup. Put them in there. I'm going to start off with 1 date. This is about a tablespoon or so extra virgin olive oil, a little apple cider vinegar, a little Bragg Samino, and a little sea salt. I love garlic, so garlic powder. I'm playing around with the garlic powder. You know, usually we always use whole
why
garlic.
you switch it up? Just to switch it up?
Just to switch it up. And we're going to add some water. Ta-da. Now, if you wanted to, you could add like chipotle to give it a smoky, spicy flavor to it, and then you can turn it into maybe like a little barbecue sauce or something like that. So play around with this.
I would add some jalapenos to it.
Jalapeno, to diversify that a little bit.
Okay, so we're going to just turn on the...
I think we're going to need a little bit more water. Okay. Yeah, so go ahead on, and you can turn that on.
Oops.
Oh. Let's see.
That was fast.
It was fast. Very fast. Hold that. Okay.
Smells good.
It does smell good. And if you want it thicker
Or thinner.
or thinner, really, I think that's perfect. You want to try?
Sure.
Right.
Well, it's good.
I think that's perfect. So now what we're going to do is put some of this sauce on our burger. And you want to do that one. And I'm going to do this one. Here you go. Do that.
You can make this into a sandwich, right?
You can make this into a sandwich. You can do anything you want to do with this.
Is this lettuce that we could use for our sandwich?
We can, most definitely. I got that lettuce from one of the farmers at the farmer's market. I mean, you can't get any fresher than that.
I know.
Because it's still in the soil.
Just pull a leaf off and add it to your sandwich.
And somebody on the set said, Caroline, I'm going to take this recipe and I'm going to fry it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fry it up into what?
He was going to fry it up into something.
A veggie burger?
Yeah, that's right. This is what this is. It's a meatloaf. So he's going to fry his... Okay. You see how simple that is? That's just how simple. So what we're going to do, put it back into the, not microwave, but the dehydrator for another couple hours. Let this get a little brown and stiffer.
And again, if people don't have a dehydrator, they can stick it in their oven?
Stick this in your oven at about 120, the lowest temperature. Leave the door a little open, ajar, and let it do its thing.
Right. And so people can get the recipes by going to mptv.org and click on the local shows tab.
Wonderful. So when you come back, we're going to do the big reveal with all the toppings and stuff. Okay, so here's this delicious, basic but delicious meatloaf meal. And so what I did here before the show, while y'all was gone, I made this what is
Mashed
it?
potatoes.
It
Raw
is-
mashed potatoes.
It is a potato-less mash. It is another potato-less
Oh,
mashed
I thought
potatoes.
that was real mashed potatoes.
No. So this is made with, again, the recipe is like, we did this last time, but I upped the ante a little bit. So this has like parsley, horseradish, yes, little cashews, what's something a little spicy. And so then over here, we just added some fresh avocado with coconut kefir and some nice, beautiful cauliflower. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to taste this meatless meatloaf.
Alrighty.
Now mine has the mushrooms.
Right.
Okay. So
really good.
delicious. And where can they find these recipes, Shanita?
You need to go to mptv.org and click on the local shows tab.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you, and we will see you next time on Cooking Raw.
To order a copy of Caroline and Shanita's book, A Mother and Daughter Diary of Raw Food Recipes for Beginners, go to mptv.org and click on Store, or call 262-781-4998.